Coach Swinney's out here throwing heaters at the Seminoles. And this is exactly what I love about Coach Swinney, right after the bumper. Man, this is what I love about Coach Swinney. This is what I love about, and this is what most people who aren't Clemson fans hate about Coach Swinney, because he calls them out. This is vintage. This is vintage Dabo Swinney. If you guys remember back in the Steve Spurrier days when Steve Spurrier was the coach at South Carolina, this is what Dabo did all the time. And he's been way too nice for way too long because they've been way too successful. And I guess he's trying to be a gentleman. I don't have to be a gentleman, right? I'm not Dabo Swinney. I'm just some guy on YouTube talking about Dabo Swinney. I don't have to be polite for him. And what he did today was vintage Dabo Swinney. This is what I love about the guy. I love what he says, the truth, and it pisses people off. And there's going to be a bunch of people that come out and say, oh, Dabo Swinney's an asshole. Dabo Swinney's a liar. Dabo Swinney doesn't care about anybody's health. He doesn't care about his players. Blah, 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 blah. All the same bullshit that losing teams say about winning teams because the teams are beating them. So have fun with that. But the bottom line is Florida State pussied out. Dabo Swinney called them out on it today. And it's great. This should be a forfeit. There's no doubt this should be a forfeit, is there? Clemson followed every single rule within the ACC, within the NCAA. I mean, there is. Look, you could say what you want to about anything about Clemson's team, or had they sucked. Trevor Lawrence sucks. Travis Etienne only ran for 3 yards, or whatever it was against Notre Dame. They sucked. They've only been relevant for 5 years. You say what you want. But this is a premier clockwork program who does everything under the coronavirus by the books, and it has since the beginning. I mean, there is nobody getting more medical care and COVID prevention protection than the kids that play for Clemson and Alabama and Ohio State and all the major college football programs in America. Nobody. They didn't break any rules. They didn't travel with players they knew had COVID. This is all a bunch of bullshit you read from idiots who just type on Twitter all day. And these are the same people that think the Earth's flat. Bottom line is, they traveled to Tallahassee. They did their weekly Friday, one of the probably 3 or 4 COVID tests they do on Friday for the whole team. Got back the results. One player had COVID. They quarantined him, sent him home. Florida State decides they don't want to play the game 3 hours before the game. 3 hours. Clemson says, okay, we understand your concerns. So let's postpone the game a day or two. We can test all of the players again to make sure everything's great. And we can play the game again this week. Nope. Don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Clemson spends, I don't know how much amount of money. A lot. $200,000, $300,000 to come down there and play the game. Follows all the rules. Florida State says 3 hours before the game, no, we're not going to play. Well, guess what? That's a forfeit. Sorry, L on your schedule, win on Clemson's schedule. And what's great about this, first of all, it's frustrating as a fan and as a player. I'm just a fan. Imagine being a player or a coach. It's frustrating. But the best part about this is that Dabo Swinney called him out on it and said they used this as an excuse not to play us. He called it for what it was. It wasn't all the fluff media stuff that they say. It's say, oh, well, this and that and this and that and this now, a bunch of bull crap nobody believes, right? He called it for what it was. He said they don't want to play us. They're scared, basically, is what he said. They're using this as an excuse not to play us. And then on top of that, he said, if they want to play us again, they can either come to Clemson or reimburse us for the trip that we made down there to Tallahassee, which I think is only fair. Because if I'm not mistaken, and I know I'm not, this is not something new that's happened. This has happened 10, 20, 30 times where players test positive the day before the game or 2 days before the game, and the game still happened. One player. Hell, it's happened on their own team, and they still played. And he did make it clear, though, that this was not about the coaches or the players of Florida State or the administration. But it was more about the administration. He made that very clear. He was calling out the administration for this. And this is it's not a coincidence that Florida State's administration is a mess of a place. That's the reason the football team is as bad as they are, is because the administration is a joke. And I think that most Florida State fans out there know I'm right when I say that Florida State's administration, as far as their sports programs, is a joke, especially the football program. Especially. They know it. They can go around pointing fingers and blaming everybody else. They can blame Dabo Swinney all they want for their shortcuts. It's not Dabo Swinney's fault. It's their fault they suck. They have become the laughing stock of college football within a matter of just a few years. Imagine that. I'd be disgusted if I was a Florida State Seminole fan or alum or student or parent of a student or whatever it is. Player even. I'd be disgusted. It's embarrassing. This is embarrassing for a Florida State fan. But I love this. I love that Dabo Swinney did this today. I love it. I think it's great. Telling it like it is. Embarrassing me even more. Sometimes you need to be shamed into compliance. All right, guys. Have a great day. Pigskin Pete is checking out.